Hello, everybody, and
Recording in progress.
welcome to tonight's Dr. Hamada, Nature of Nutrition. We're excited to be here tonight. We've got a powerful lineup of information, and Dr. Hamada, one of the products that is up at the top of the list of one of my most favorites. I always kid people, and Dr. Hamada, you'll have to unmute yourself. There you go. I always kid people that I used to go to sleep at night uh, having nightmares about owning $1 million worth of muscadine grapes. That was a long time ago. And turning that product into a juice, a very, very special blend of juice. We're going to talk about that tonight, Dr. Hamada. And I'm just excited to sit back and listen to the master. I know that you're not feeling like $1 million. Thank you for being front and center anyway, and where we need you. So, Dr. Hamada, take it away and let's talk about this amazing product. And I don't know, Dr. Hamada, if you got your questions or not this week.
I did not.
Okay, we need to get Dr. Hamada his password and username so that he can get in there, because I didn't get them either. But take it away, sir.
Fantastic. And I just, welcome to the call. And I'm excited to be here. Like Mike sort of mentioned, I was speaking actually to a large crowd Friday night and shook a lot of hands, and then spent Saturday, Sunday, and all day today in bed with a fever of 102. I think I got the flu. So, but you're going to see what I'm taking. And a lot of it is Valera products. In fact, I'm taking this twice a day, Resist. We'll talk about this at one point in the future. Of course, I'm taking good old aspirin, which is a miracle drug that a lot of people don't like anymore, but it's fantastic. Vitamin C. Vitamin C is a great anti-inflammatory that we use large doses of. And what we're going to talk about tonight, Replenish. In fact, I'd sort of slowed down on taking this. I'm not sure why. I guess life got busy and I just sort of forgot about it. But I've been taking it since we decided to talk about it this week, because of exactly what I'm going to tell you tonight. It's amazing. The muscadine grapes and the resveratrol and the phytochemicals and the bioflavonoids and the ellagic acid and the quercetin and all those things that are anti-inflammatory that basically absorb free radicals and reverse inflammation and protect your heart and protect your heart vessels and your brain vessels. And there's also been some evidence in the past that it can also be pretty active when it comes to cancer cells, to getting them to shut down. But let's talk about all that today. So there's a term that you can see here in the first column that's ORAC foods, ORAC, and that's really sort of an oxidative reductive potential of a certain food that basically, that's the antioxidant potential of that food. Muscadine grapes have a higher ORAC potential than any other grape that's grown in the world. So today what I want to do too is talk about some of the myths that we have that are related to wine and things like that. You've probably heard that wine is good for you because it helps protect your heart, and everybody should have a glass of wine with dinner because the French do, and all that. So that's kind of true, but it's also kind of not true. The alcohol in the wine does absolutely nothing for you. The alcohol is actually bad for you. The alcohol increases disease, it lowers sleep, it increases inflammation, it prevents brain regeneration. Even one drink a day, even one drink a week has been shown to decrease sleep on a nightly basis by up to 15 or 16%. If you have a drink a day, that your sleep is being affected by, it's diminishing the quality of sleep by up to 40% a day. Alcohol's bad. There's no reason, if you want to enjoy a glass of wine, great. But don't do it for the sake of thinking that it's cardioprotective. What's cardioprotective are the bioflavonoids and the phenols in the grape juice itself that are present in wine, but they're present in plain old grape juice as well. But they're really present in what we're talking about tonight with Replenish, muscadine. So most grapes have a certain number of chromosomes For some reason, muscadimes have 2 extra chromosomes than ordinary grapes. Plus, the thing that we forget a lot of times is that ordinary grape juice, though it contains those bioflavonoids and ellagic acid and quercetin and all those other things, resveratrol, though the juice contains those, if you include the pulp and actually the seeds and the covering of the grape, people used to throw those away, and many people still throw them away. I mean, if you go buy Welch's grape juice from the grocery store, from Kroger or Publix, it's going to be just the juice. But what we see with Replenish, and it used to be called Heartland Select, Mike can talk about that a little bit more later, is that it's not just the juice, but we use everything, because there's I can't remember the actual number, but somewhere between 1,000 to 3,000 times the amounts of bioflavonoids in the seeds and the coverings or the peel of the grape. So it's not just the juice we want the whole thing. And we've developed such a process of Elara that actually takes the whole grape and uses the whole grape in this juice. So this is what I'm drinking too, because it also has antiviral properties. It also has the anti-inflammatory properties. It has anti-cancer properties. It has all sorts of heart benefit, antioxidant properties. And I hope you're hearing me. It's not just a little antioxidant. I mean, it's huge amounts of antioxidants. So there are 3 primary, super antioxidants. And the 3 are catalase, superoxide dismutase, and I'm blanking on the third one. I may remember here in just a minute. Some of the other lower quality antioxidants are things like vitamin C. I mean, it's high quality, but it just doesn't have the same power as those others. But you know what does have incredible power with antioxidants? With regards to antioxidants, Replenish. So what we recommend is that you drink 2 ounces a day, 2 ounces of Replenish a day to boost you up on anti-inflammatory antioxidants and the phytochemicals. Let me just show you. I meant to, I'm not sharing my screen. Let me share my screen real quick because I want to show you this. Okay, can you see that?
Yes, sir.
All right, so this is from Cleveland Heart Labs. And Cleveland Heart, I have a private medical practice that I see concierge patients with all over the country. And Cleveland Heart is the lab I use because they have some laboratory tests that most labs don't. But some of those laboratory markers are these things that you see at the very top here with, troponins and LPPLA2 activity, myeloperoxidase activity, ADMA, microalbumin, high sensitivity C-reactive protein, oxidative LDL, and the F2 isoprostanes. So what you see is at the very left of the picture, you see a healthy vessel, a healthy artery. But as we age, as we live an inflammatory life with, whatever, stress or carbohydrates or toxins in our food, our vessels start getting affected. And the intimal lining, which is the very thin glycocalyx lining, this sort of a slimy mucousy lining that things are supposed to slide off of, starts breaking down, and you start getting injury into the cell wall. And these inflammatory mediators and myeloperoxidases start reacting. And this yellow these are cholesterol deposits. So it's not the cholesterol that's causing the problems, the inflammation. But if you have high cholesterol, that's what the body's using as a bandage to come in and try to fix the blood vessels in the heart and the brain and the legs and the arms. And that's what starts causing things. So we start seeing some of these indicators like the isoprostanes and the LDL and the ADMA, microalbumin, and C-reactive protein. And as you go down, as the disease gets worse and worse, you start having these other types of things like troponins and CKMB, until it gets to the point where you get this kind of blood clot and you have an occlusion of the vessel, and that's when you have a heart attack. That's when the cells of the heart start leaking these enzymes like CKMB, creatine kinase, myocardial branch fraction, and then troponins. And that's when you have these bad heart attacks. So the goal is to sort of reverse cardiac disease, get this cholesterol out of here, start healing the intimal lining, but the actual goal is to not let it ever start or to slow it down severely if you have severe genetic disease where you have a propensity to this, like some of you do. And one of the things, there are many things we can use to do this. I mean, that's why aspirin, I think, is great. That's why I think there are other products, but that's one strong benefit to Replenish, is it helps reverse the inflammatory cascade that causes cholesterol to collect in the vessel walls in an effort to heal the vessel that's being inflamed and damaged. So if we can decrease the inflammation, we can lower the cholesterol's activity, and we can hopefully prevent these plaques from occurring. So this is a ruptured plaque. You see that here, and it sort of breaks out. It gets calcified, and then eventually you get a blood clot. The other thing that the resveratrol and the other biophenols in here do is it also helps with blood clotting. So it prevents blood clots from occurring. It affects the COX-2 enzymes and some of the other enzymes that lead down to that cascade of blood clots. So it's not anything like Plavix or Xarelto or even aspirin, but it does have some anti-clotting activity in it. So that's another great benefit.
Hey, Dr. Hamada.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up. I was actually researching the word nutraceutical today, and I thought it was quite interesting, the definition being natural foods or natural substances that have a medicinal effect. So there are things we can do. There are foods we can eat, including this resveratrol product, that can actually have an effect like a medicine, but not a medicine. Is that accurate?
It is accurate, for sure. Definitely accurate. And the amazing thing is this doesn't just have resveratrol. I mean, it has multiple other phytochemicals. Like, you remember Lance Armstrong, and I know he has sort of a sketchy past with his blood doping and all with, Tour de France. But he started a company that focused on getting people quercetin as an anti-inflammatory and as an athletic mediator. Well, you know what's full of quercetin? It's this stuff. Not just the quercetin, but the ellagic acid, as well as the resveratrol and other antioxidants. So there's not another product out there like it. And that's one reason I love Vallara, is because every product has been thoughtfully produced, and they're just not out there producing a bunch of products to try to sell stuff. They're out there producing products that have key, key focuses or key foci on specific indicators. I mean, there's nothing else like it. So,
now, Dr. Hamada, if you spill that bottle of Replenish on your white carpet there, you're going to have a big purple stain that's not going to come out. If you get this juice even on your hands, it's going to have almost a staining effect. Is it true that inside your arteries that this creates a protection there from that part of the grape?
Yes, and those are tannins, or things that are also bioactive, but they do that coloring is something that will also be bioactive inside your vessels as well. And the exciting thing is, we talked Joe and Bill into this, that we are giving a discount and free shipping on this over the next few weeks. Mike, you want to talk about that?
Yep, I'm going to turn your screen off there so I can share my screen, and I'll show you a really cool. There we go. Okay, here we come. I believe it's the right screen I got. Let me go down one more page. Okay, this is, I love this, and I know you do, Robia, Leah, you do. Every time we go to the company and say, okay, we're going to be promoting this, we're going to be doing that with Dr. Hamada, they come up with something for us. So Bill says, well, let's, the Heartland, the Replenish is a heavy product. It's weighty, okay, so it costs quite a bit to ship. And they're saying, look, we will ship it for the next 2 weeks, I believe it is 2 weeks, for free. And on top of that, Dr. Hamada, they're going to knock 10% off, not the retail price, 10% off the wholesale price that they're already selling it for. So this special, ladies and gentlemen, the $63.19, that represents a 10% reduction from the normal wholesale price for a 2-pack. And on the 4-pack, the 119 represents a 10% reduction from the normal price. And then on top of that, you knock off the shipping. And on top of that, you've got the points, which turns right into income. So thanks for bringing that up, Doctor.
And Mike, there's no discount on the points with this special. Number one. Number two, unfortunately, our nutraceuticals being shipped into Canada, we cannot cover the shipping because of duties and what have you. So that's the free shipping is in the U.S. only.
Got it. Got it. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Sorry, Dr. Hamada, I didn't mean to get off on a wild goose chase there.
Oh, no, that was great. Fantastic.
You know, one of the things that I when I first learned about the muscadine grape, Dr. Hamada, is that it's grown in Arkansas, Texas, in the real hot, real tough environment. And it makes that grape really tough. It's not a grape that you just go pick off a vine and just eat. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That wouldn't be a good eating grape. This is a nutraceutical grape. This is a grape that has tremendous power behind it. And we had to work and work and work and work with the blends to get it. So not only would it be super effective, that ORAC score, Dr. Hamada, is off the charts. The amount of ORAC in that bottle is off the charts. Okay, the polyphenols, all those different things that are in there, but then also to make it so you could drink it so it wouldn't be so bad tasting. So there's a nice blend of things in there that a lot of formulation went into.
And it tastes really good. You know, it's not one of those drinks like so many companies sell drinks, and there are so many, I can't remember, and I'm not, there's mangosteen and this fruit and that fruit and that fruit and this fruit. And those are all good fruits. There's nothing wrong with them, and they all have antioxidant potential, but nothing out there even comes close to what Resist has in it. And I've tried those others because I have friends who, you know, sell them and trying to get me on them and trying to get me to like them. This tastes so much better than any of those others. Those others, personally, I mean, you guys may like something different. Personally, this tastes so much better, and I have no trouble at all. In fact, I look forward to it. The other stuff.
You may or may not know this, Dr. Hamada, but the scientists at the University of Georgia were so impressed with this formulation that they actually wrote a book. I believe it's 3 different doctors that wrote. I'll get it for you, but it is some really powerful stuff what this can do inside the human body. And so I'm excited that we've discounted it 10%. We're giving the free shipping, giving everybody a chance that maybe has never tried the Replenish to give it a shot. And by the way, folks, this is a fun product to do at in-home business meetings because you can actually have almost like communion. You can pass it around and let everybody try it. And it has that instant benefit that goes in the body, doctor.
That's true. And you know what I've found too? Sometimes I've got to keep it away from my kids. So when they're over here, I've got to sort of hide it. Otherwise it's gone. And I'm like, only 2 ounces. But you know, when you got teenage boys.
And you can drink it straight out of the bottle. But if you do it in the car, you might get yourself in trouble.
That's true. I mean, it looks like a wine bottle, right? I mean,
Yes, it does.
Brown bag it.
Yeah, there you go. That'll go over well.
So Dr. Hamada, one of the things that we've been threatening here on your weekly calls is that we're going to start teaching how to monetize this, how to turn a vast army imagine an army of families that are using this product. It keeps coming out because I'm ingrained in Heartland Select, but the Replenish all over the country using it. That's called, ladies and gentlemen, internal consumption. Not just internal in your body, but internal consumption means that the number one customer of your products are your distributors. Distributors tend to use even more product than customers. So it's great to have retail customers. It's great to have customers on the auto delivery program. But every one of us should be missionaries. Every one of us should be our own best customer. And so, and the Jackson House, when we have dinner, there's a little glass, there's a little heart, a little replenish, and maybe chilled a little bit. And you don't have to drink a whole glass. Just as the doctor said, a couple of ounces and you're covered for the day. It makes me feel so good, doctor, because my heart situation is pretty serious. And I really feel that the living water, the good air, the replenish, the essentials for life, all the things that I've been using all these years is the reason that the doctors are so puzzled. You brought it up many times, Dr. Hamada. I shouldn't feel as good as I do. I shouldn't have as much energy as I do with the situation, but I do. And so, folks, we want to really encourage you to, number one, before you ever try to market this product to other people, market it to yourself. And then, doctor, you can start sharing it with all the people that you know.
Yeah, exactly. Try it out. If you're not sold on it, try the 2-bottle and see what you think, but you're going to want more. And what I do is I've had this on recurring ship. So there's an auto ship thing that you can use for this as well. So you just don't run out.
And I think that's a really good point, Mr. Coyle, is we have our core 4 products, which, we already give a great discount on. We already give the special promotions, all the things that we do with that, including the first month for free. But with Heartland Select or with the Replenish, we can put that on our auto delivery program and get a nice discount on it and get the good shipping. But this is just a one-time deal that you can get your 2 bottles, get your 4 bottles, and get the free shipping and the nice discount.
There's no limit to the number of orders, Mike.
Okay.
For the special, it's just over the first 2 weeks, the next 2 weeks.
Very good. Very good.
Fantastic.
Dr.
I have
Hamada.
an interjection just real quick. I think there's also ways you can set up different multiple subscribe and saves and stagger them, right? Where you get replenished 1 month and you get your keto zone the other month. And so, because you takes it, so there's a lot of clever ways you can get with customer service, right, Mr. Cole, Mr. Jackson, and kind of stagger it so you're making sure you don't run out ever.
And also focus in on what your PV goal is each particular month, and do that with nutraceuticals.
Yep.
Exactly. I just had a distributor call me from Florida, and they said, Mike, would you help me figure out which of these nutraceutical products I need and what is the best way to buy them, the best way to get started, the best price. And so that's fun when customers are starting to call you, distributors are starting to call you. These calls are really making a difference. They're really helping people to understand these nutraceuticals. And we're going to see that Doppler go straight up north. That we're going to see our gauge go straight north as more and more and more people use these amazing products. So we're excited to be here. Dr. Hamada, I know this was a struggle. I know what it's like to have to force every word when you're not on top of your game. So thank you very much for doing that. Just pretend that it's the Army or the Navy or the Marines or whoever that you were with, making you stay underwater for 5 minutes, and you're suffering and your lungs are burning, but you're doing it anyway, sir. So thanks.
That's right. Well, I believe in it, and that's why I'm here.